Hello, everyone, and welcome to fundmyhome.org and our Fundraising 101 workshop. My name is Scott Grimm. I'm the Director of Fundraising for fundmyhome.org, and I'm glad you joined us today. And I pray and hope that you get blessings from this workshop, and it helps you just really understand our vision, our goals, our mission moving forward, and the plan that's going to get us there collectively. So we'll get right into it. For those of you that aren't real familiar with our fundraising program format and how it works, I just want to show you on your replicated websites. If you get someone to donate, whether it be through any efforts that you do, marketing wise, or someone or a corporation or a grant, you'll end up having them come to your donate page on your replicated website. This page is where they'll come and they'll actually make their donation. And you can see that we've got a variety of different options for them to donate. This page is under development right now and is under construction, but it is completely set up for someone to come in and make a donation at a variety of different levels in a one-time donation using their credit card, even up to $100,000 right on your replicated website. And how this works, if you go to your career tab and you click on calculators, you're going to see that we've got a number of different calculators, tools here to help you understand the payout and how you can make extra income by being a part of our referral, our social media referral society that we have. And with regards to fundraising, you'll see here the fundraising income calculator. And all you got to do is click on there, and you're going to be able to go in and, let's say you've got a goal, a fundraising goal of, let's say for the year, $1,000, or I'm sorry, for the year, $1 million. Then you would just go ahead and put in $1 million there and hit enter. And you're going to see the total payout on $1 million for all of our associates is going to be $320,000. So what we're doing at fundmyhome.org is we are obviously working through our associates who are the mouthpiece of the company, of the nonprofit. And you are the ones out there generating the donations, and we are paying 32 cents on every dollar back to our associates for their fundraising efforts. What does that mean for you personally? Well, if you headed up a team or yourself in your own efforts, went out and generated $1 million on your own efforts, you would get $75,000, 7.5% of $1 million. So as you can see, if you're an aggressive fundraiser, you could actually, this could become a full-time opportunity for you as you begin to market the great cause, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, of fundmyhome.org with regards to fundraising. And then we pay out another 8 levels. So, and the way we pay out the levels is the first level override. In order to qualify that as funds come in your upline, if let's say you did $1 million, you had $1 million donation and you got 75,000. By the way, that 75,000 is paid immediately as soon as the transaction clears accounting. You'll be paid, and then your upline would receive 5% or $50,000. Now that money would be put into their account, and they would be able to use that towards the purchase of their own home. And they could qualify that way, or they could let it build up and bank up and then use it to purchase their home, at a later time. You can do that. You can use it also towards the purchase of your second home, your vacation home. You can do that as well. Or you can let it, build up, and you can also get those funds once you have a grant recipient signed up and gone through the application process and closed their transaction. Then you'll be able to get those funds as well. So 3 different ways for you to get the funds that are being stored up by your team for the overrides are through, 1, using it for your own, the purchase of your own home or vacation home, would be the second. And the third way is to bring in, a grant recipient and help them, go through the process, or get them into the system that will help them go through the process. And once their transaction is complete, then you would be able to access those funds and it would start building over again for you. So I just want to give you a brief overview of how that works. And we're going to talk about how lucrative that can be as we move forward. So let's jump right into the presentation. And like I said, when we opened up, I just pray and blessed it, or pray that you'll be blessed by what you're going to hear today in this presentation. So everything at fundmyhome.org is Christ-centered. So we put God first in everything that we do, and including in our mission statement. I think you'll see that, because it's all about adding value. So we're actually providing value. And by the way, associates, your mission statement is something that you should put to memory, and you should be able to recite. You should understand it and all of the dynamics of it. And ours is fabulous. So I like to read it over and over again. I use it in every presentation because I really want to internalize it. So keep that in mind as you are building teams, especially, that you emphasize to your new associates in our referral society the need for them to really understand the mission, because successful fundraising organizations, successful businesses, all are mission oriented, and that's why they are successful. They have a great mission, a great cause, and they really understand it. So our mission statement: providing value added services to our clients and empowering our associate members to achieve the life they were meant to live, while helping to abate the unpopular and pervasive phenomenon of home rentership, presently threatening low to moderate income families, the millennials, and among others, the workforce and recent graduates of this great nation and abroad. And, so again, there's a lot to unpack there. So we're really adding value to all of our associates. That's you and me in so many different ways. That's one thing that we're doing that's important, because, many of us associates are also grant recipients, or could be grant recipients in the future. So there's a lot of different ways that fundmyhome.org is adding value, providing value to the lives of our associates, but also to our clients and those that we're reaching out to. And with regards to that, this one statement I think is really important, and that's the statement about the pervasive phenomenon of home rentership, presently threatening low to moderate income families. That is the very core, that is the center of what we're really all about. There's a major problem going on in our country today with over 40 million families and individuals stuck in that vicious cycle of home rentership. These are hardworking, by the way, families and individuals who are paying their rent on time, and for whatever reason, they're unable to get out of that vicious cycle of home rentership. So they're actually paying their mortgage. Unfortunately, they're paying it for someone else. So that's our mission. That's our cause. And it's always important to, when we're presenting our cause, our mission statement, to let everyone know that fundmyhome.org is a for-profit company, but our 501c3 partner, and that's who you are representing when you are out fundraising, is in collaboration with our for-profit company, fundmyhome.org. So we have a partnership, a working partnership, and that's how we're able to accomplish our goals and see our vision go forward. So fundmyhome.org, in collaboration with Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance, Inc., and that's our 501(c)(3), nonprofit organization, fosters home ownership, providing down payment assistance in a simple and expedited process to all participating mortgage qualified home buyers. It assists in the approval process of mortgage loans by providing homeowners with the funds they need towards their down payment and closing costs, and does so without income restrictions. Again, there's a lot to unpack there, but the thing about our mission statement with regards to our 501(c)(3), it explains exactly what it is that we do. So you can see in there, we provide down payment assistance. We provide assistance in the form of repayable grants, as well as assistance in other areas that will help them to qualify to get their American dream. So we've got a lot going on at fundmyhome.org. We're very excited about our mission, about our cause, about our vision, especially. And that's what we want to talk about today. And again, we just thank God that he's bringing together all of us collectively to see that our goal and our mission of helping 1 million homeowners in 30 years get their piece of the American pie, get their family on a track for generational wealth by being able to purchase their own home. Here at fundmyhome.org, everything that we do, we operate under the kingdom principle. So the spiritual reign or authority of God, that's what we work under. The kingdom of God is to encompass all spheres of life, we believe, especially our work. As agents of that kingdom, we serve as salt and light wherever the Spirit leads us. This leading comes through vision, which is given by God through inspiration of the Holy Spirit. And we are here to translate this vision by doing the work. Vision, can't emphasize enough how important that is, and that is where we will start today. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about vision, because without a vision, we're going to perish. We're not going to be successful. We're not going to get from destiny to destiny until we get to our ultimate destination. That's where we want to get to, and we're going to only get there if we have a clear vision. And the next step is goals. We have to set goals that are going to help us get to where we want to go. Philippians 3:14, the Apostle Paul said, one thing I do, forgetting those things that lie behind, I press towards the goal for the prize of the upward call of Christ Jesus. So goals are very biblical, and you and I need to have them. They need to be clear. They need to be smart. We'll talk about those in a little bit. And then finally, we need to have a plan. So our goals are going to help us build a plan in order to achieve those goals, which will then lead us and guide us to our ultimate destination. Luke 14:28, for which of you intending to build a tower or a house does not count the cost before doing so? So, it's very important for you and I to have a very clear plan of how we're going to get there. I like to share what I call my 2020 vision, and I'm a visionary. My 2020 vision is something that I personalized in the midst of COVID-19, in a difficult year for many, many people. 2020 is turning out to be one of my best years. It's going to be a memorable year because of my mindset. And I call it the 2020 vision because I want to make my next 20 my absolute best 20. So what I've done is in my prayer time, in my time of meditation, in my time of planning my day, my weeks, my years, I want to make my next 20 years my best 20 years. So what I do is I want to make my next 20 days the best 20 days, my next 20 hours the best 20 hours. So I brought it down to the lowest level by in my mindset, making my next 20 minutes, my best 20 minutes is going to help me get to the best 20 hours, the best 20 days, the best 20 weeks, the best 20 years of my life are yet to come. So that's my vision. I hope that inspires you in many areas of your life. So show me your lens and I will show you your level. Cliche, we hear it a lot, and I'm sure you have too. But really, the importance of vision cannot be overemphasized. Your vision chooses your friends. It really does. I'm blessed here in South Florida. I've got a eagle's nest literally in my backyard. And eagles, when it comes to vision, are amazing creatures. They're the king of the skies. They fly so high that the only other birds they ever see at their level are other eagles. So when it comes to choosing your friends, your vision is going to help you do that. And you're going to begin to surround yourself with eagles and no longer with chickens. Not only are eagles, together soaring at great heights with other eagles, but they also have such incredible vision that they can see so clearly from as high as 5 miles in the sky. And by having such incredible vision, they're able to sustain themselves and get the wealth. That's the substance. That's the all of the things that they need to carry out their lives. They're able to get because of their great vision. Vision will also determine your livelihood, or at least it should. Your use of time, how you prioritize things, even your hobbies. Vision will help you choose your hobbies. Your diet, I know it does mine. I'm now eating very clean. I eat by what's called the Daniel's diet as much as I possibly can, because that's part of my 2020 vision, making my next 20 the best 20. Your investments, your to-do list, your attitude, your altitude, your aptitude, and even your life plan and your values are all determined by your vision. And I like to, when I think about vision, I like to use visuals. I think they're very important. And Moses, I think, was a great example of someone that had incredible vision. And because of his incredible vision, he was a leader. And although Moses had many difficulties and insecurities that we don't often think about when we see, the movie with Charlton Heston, this great leader, Moses. But one thing the Bible makes clear is that Moses had a lot of insecurities, that he was humbled and didn't think he had, what it would take to lead the people out of Israel, to face Pharaoh and those things. But one thing Moses did have was clear vision from God. And that vision as a leader clarifies your purpose. It gives direction to your plan. And most importantly, and this is the thing that I'm really, want to zero in on, is that vision brings us beyond our assets and resources. It's the most important element of a vision, is that it brings us to a place where our vision is so much greater than our present status that we have to rely on new resources to come through. So vision is that important, and it gives God then a chance and room to work, because it's beyond our abilities to carry out the vision. So he's got to provide the resources. Moses had vision. He also, because he trusted God, God provided the resources that he needed, and the people followed the plan. People followed the leader. The people followed the leader because they knew the vision. So Moses did a great job in clearly communicating his vision that God had given him for the people of Israel, and therefore they followed their leader. So vision, show me your lens, and I will show you your level. Vision is what directs you to a place where you no longer have the resources necessary to get you there. And that is where God, who has reign and sovereignty over all the resources, can move his resources your way to complete the fulfillment of the vision. So he who has an ear, let him hear. This is truly amazing. These things called government grants are literally resources looking for vision. That's a quote from Dr. Miles Monroe. And the government grants that he's talking about, last year alone, there were over $850 billion worth of grants last year available to nonprofit organizations, corporate grants through 501c4s, corporate sponsors, small business sponsors, charitable donations. There's so much money and resources out there. Remember, God is sovereign and he has reign over those resources. And when we have clear vision, and we continue to seek him for direction, and we have a clear plan, then that's where we give God the opportunity to start to move those resources towards you and I. And that's what we're after here today. And guess what, everyone? The only thing we have to do with regards to fundraising is ask. We need to be the ones out there asking. In Matthew 21:22, and whatever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. So we need to have faith, but we also need to have a good plan and lofty goals, and give God a chance to move. And he wants to bless us. He is the giver of every good and perfect gift. And he does appreciate when his children work hard, and he will bless them for doing so. So I wanted to share with you some vision. This is from the Miles Factor, some fabulous trainers out of California that help nonprofits, especially churches and small parachurch ministries, become seven-figure grant organizations. And that's this pyramid that they put together really explains the step-by-step process that every organization goes through, every nonprofit goes through in order to get from the first level, which is lack and unfundability, to the highest level, the fourth level, and that's an overflow, an abundance of funds coming in that's going to enable us to build a larger and more prosperous opportunity in the end. And there are obviously 4 steps here laid out. One is the lack, 2 is maintain, 3 is sustain, and 4 is that overflow of blessings. And we're going to get more into that next week. But it's important when we think about our vision that we understand the steps that are necessary in order for us to get there. So the big picture is what I was just sharing with you of what it takes for every organization to get to that level of abundance. And now we need to personalize the same image or structure to my or your own opportunity, so we understand it and can begin to build on the foundation that we already have here at fundmyhome.org, that we already have in place. And that is, there's a lot that's been done here. There's a lot of work that's been done over the last 3 years to bring this incredible company, fundmyhome.org, and our nonprofit real estate mortgage grants and down payment assistance Inc. Or our 501c3 to where it is today. So we have that framework. We have that level 1 framework all in place. We are a nonprofit organization. We are tax exempt, and we are getting some donations. We're at that second level of funding right now. And that's a good place to be. But our vision is to get to a place of abundance, of overflow. So in layman's terms, we're all, each of us, on our own, individually, building our own fundraising opportunity with the products, services, team, mission, tools, and some of those tools will vary, and there'll be new tools coming all the time. But we have the infrastructure also in place, so as an organization that we can begin to move towards our goal of abundance, of overflow. So we know now where we are on the ladder, the pyramid, if you will, or the steps to success. And wisdom is applying that knowledge. And that's what I want to be focused on as we work collectively together to clarify our vision, to develop our goals, and to develop the plan that's going to get us there. So we want to be a student. I like to I consider myself a student every day. I learn something new. And I am not by any means, a fundraising quote unquote expert, but I do plan to get there because we've got such a great cause and such a great company of associates. So I will be getting tremendous fundraising leaders and experts I'll be surrounding myself with them. And I'll be able to pass on to each and every one of you some really good teaching and tools that are going to help us be successful. So we know where we are. We're at that second level right now. We're fundable, but we want to get to that place of abundance. And now I want you to start thinking about your own opportunity. How many of you want to be a 7-figure fundraiser for your nonprofit opportunity? And you can just raise your hands in the chat. In order to get there, we must understand the stages we must go through in order to get there. And we must possess the vision, goals, and have a plan to guide us to our destiny. But before we do that, there's one thing that we have to deal with, and that is unbelief. There are so many obstacles of unbelief when God gives you a clear vision that the enemy brings to your mind. And we have got to deal with this unbelief. You know, like here's one, for example, there's secret funding out there, but they don't want to tell us about it because they don't want us to get it. You know, there's only a select few people that are really going to get these grants, for example, or, you know, these large corporations and their 501c4s, you're not going to give to our company. They're already giving to these other companies. And so all these thoughts begin to flood our minds whenever we see a vision and we want to start to set out to get there. And these are really roadblocks that keep us from getting there. So we've got to deal with that unbelief, and we've got to walk by faith, believing that we're going to achieve our goals. So, you know, vision is what's going to keep us on the right path. And this is one of my little quotes: belief is the field that creates our reality. So in order to get to our destination, we have to first believe that that's where we're going to end up. And when we believe it, we can achieve it. So we've got to have a great mindset. And that's I cannot overemphasize that enough, how important it is to have clear vision, a godly vision, and vision that we believe in, because without that, we're never going to get to that final destination that we want to get to. So belief is really the field that creates our reality, and why we need to deal with any unbelief that would keep us from getting to our goals and ultimately to our destination. So we must see ourselves stepping up. And I love this picture of the stairway to heaven, stepping up from one level, going from lack to overflow. We must believe it to achieve it. And that is where we must start this journey, with the destination always in the forefront of our minds, our thoughts, and most importantly, our actions. So we can get there. We got to know where we are. We got to have a good plan, goals, and the right mindset. Most importantly, we will achieve our goals collectively and individually as we continue to have the right mindset. So what is our destiny vision? What is your destiny vision for your opportunity? Well, for 2020 and 2021, I'm just going to share you what mine is. Right now, I want my company, my team that I'm going to be building to be a 7-figure fundraising organization. And matter of fact, I'd like to see that happen in the first 90 to 120 days. That's my goal, is to get my company or my fundraising opportunity, because that's what we're talking about here today. But to get your grant.fundmyhome.org to a 7-figure fundraising organization. That's my vision. And it's clearly in front of me. I could see it happening already in my mind. And I see the team of people that are going to help me get there. I'm putting together the framework for that right now as we speak. I'm getting grant writers. I'm getting associates to help me with ads, ad builders, marketers, funnel producers, and all of these different things that are necessary in order for us to get to our goals. And that's what I hopefully I'm going to be able to give you an overview of here today. So my company, getyourgrant.fundmyhome.org. My opportunity, I already see it as a 7-figure fundraising opportunity. Now, we've got to have our eyes on the prize. That's so important. So, you know, and I like to use it as an example here. You know, not only do we need to have our eyes on the prize, but we also need to have our feet firmly planted on the ground. So, eyes on the prize, feet firmly planted on the ground. So we've got our eyes on the prize, our head in the clouds. We know where our vision is. We're visionaries, but we're also, you know, just like the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is here, and you and I are walking in it as we speak, but our feet are still firmly planted on the ground. We're still in these temporal bodies, even though we're spiritual beings, and we haven't arrived at our destination yet, and that is ultimately to be fully in the kingdom of heaven for all eternity. So our eyes need to be on the prize. You know, our head, you know, you could call that having your head in the clouds. You know, and be a visionary. That's very important. And those without a vision perish. But at the same time, we need to have our feet firmly planted on the ground. So what does that look like? Because it's important that we understand that. Well, for me, my head's in the clouds. I want to get to a 7-figure fundraising company in my first year. But what the benefits that gives me, it makes me happy that I'm free to work from home and bless others. I showed you before where, as an associate, if I personally raise $1 million, I'll receive 7.5% of that, or $75,000. That's a nice income for me, and it's very achievable. So I can work from home and build a 7-figure fundraising organization, or do 7 figures myself working from home. I know I can do that, and it's going to allow me to work from home and bless others. It's going to give me the ability to travel to new destinations and share my vision with others. It's going to give me the benefit of fulfillment that I'm walking in and operating in the gifts that God's given me, and it's going to help me achieve my goals. And it's also going to make me a 6-figure income producer, a 6-figure income, and that is going to help me create generational wealth, which is part of my vision for everything I'm doing for the next 20 years. I want to create generational wealth so that I can bless my children and my children's children for generations to come, but not just financially, in many other ways as well. My feet, though, even though I've got that great vision, they're firmly planted on the ground, on the rock, on the sand, on the grass where we walk every day. So, that's the action part of doing things. It's also the mental part, the intellect, where we have to understand, the things that are necessary. The money's not going to just, fall from the sky. We have to do the hard work. So my feet are on the ground. I've got the knowledge already of knowing where my company is, where my opportunity is. It's between level 1 and 2. My goal is to get to level 4 in 1 year. I must do all the things necessary that every nonprofit does to get to that level, to get to level 2, 3, and 4, in order to arrive at my destiny of abundance. And I need to have a written plan. Very important to get me there. It needs to start with my goals that I've set out, and it needs to be a plan that requires resources and assets that I do not have. So therefore, I begin to pray, and I ask God to give me the people, the team, the tools, the vehicles, all of the resources that are necessary to see that I get to my destiny, to see that vision fulfilled. Now, I wanted to share this with you because, as a leader and someone that's stepping out to, share this incredible mission that we have, the average homeowner in our country right now, 2020, has a net worth 36 times higher than the average renter. When I first read this, it kind of saddened me to think that, there's so many millions and millions of Americans that are caught in the vicious cycle of home rentership that do not own their own homes. They want to so desperately. And the beauty of owning your own home is it's really the first and probably the easiest way to start making an impact or leaving a legacy of generational wealth to our children. So when you're able to purchase your own home and pay for that home over the next 20 or 30 years or less, and you're able to own that real estate, it's a valuable asset. It's probably one of the most valuable assets that anyone owns, and you're able to pass that on to your children and give them a better life and a better start. So, I want you to start thinking as a leader when you hear things like this of how it can help develop your clear vision for your opportunity. And, I heard this not too long ago that the poor pursue money, the rich pursue things, but the wealthy pursue ideas. So when we hear or read something like this, we need to ask ourselves, well, what can I do with that information? How can I take that information and step into it and make it part of my vision moving forward? How can I articulate that and get people to see something like that and make them understand that, hey, here's a great way for you to make a lasting change, a legacy change for your family by owning your own home, and we could help get you there. And from a fundraising perspective, when you share things like this with those that have a heart to help, they understand and they see this type of information, and it really pulls on their heartstrings to make them want to give. So, wisdom is knowledge properly applied. And as leaders, we need to always remember that. So myself, I can be the leader God is telling me to be and help those stuck in this pervasive phenomenon of home rentership currently threatening our country. How? By sharing this information, like the information we just learned, the problem that's out there, and then leading others to the solution, which is right now donating to to get your grant.fundmyhome.org. And, that's something that, you and I can really wrap our heads around. We can go out there today as a leader and share the problem and show people that fundmyhome.org, in collaboration with Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance, Inc., can help these people get out of this vicious cycle that they're in and get their own home and the life-changing impact that it will have for them and their families. Okay, so the next step after vision is we need to have SMART goals, and they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. That's very important. Goals are like, I call them destinations along the way to the destiny. So as we're going, once we get the vision where we want to get to, clearly get it defined, these goals are going to be the destinations along the way, those markers, if you will, along the way that are going to ultimately lead us to our destination. And that's where we want to get to ultimately. So the goals are tools that bring us towards the vision. They are, in fact, destinations along the way to our destiny. And obviously, there's categories of goals that we're dealing with right now at fundmyhome.org. Corporate, number one. Number two is our team, our opportunity, our team opportunity individually. And then last but not least is our personal goals. So those are the three that we really want to focus on. So from a corporate perspective, again, we are for the people, by the people. This is your company. It's my company. It's your organization. It's your fundraising nonprofit. And our goal is to reflect the vision and mission of our great company moving forward corporately. So here's a great goal that's already been established by Carlos when he got the vision for this company, is to help 1 million home buyers achieve the American dream by 2050, 30 years. By how? I've taken this now and given it some more clarity by raising $12 billion for our 501(c) Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance, Inc. through charitable giving. And what I've done is I've taken that 1 million homeowner number, and I've divided it by $12,000. And so in this case, I've realized it's actually 1 million times $12,000, and that's the average grant amount that I'm using as a template, as a model to establish the goals for the company. And so 1 million times 12,000 is $12 billion. So that is our corporate goal, to raise $12 billion over the next 30 years. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we can do that. So our corporate goal is to help 1 million homeowners achieve the American dream in 30 years. And in order to do that, we need to raise $12 billion so that we can give each grant recipient on average about $12,000. And of course that could change and is going to change with every recipient based on their application and what they would qualify for. But nonetheless, that is our goal. But we also have our team goals. So for my team and my organization as a leader, and in order to achieve the personal goals that I have, personally, as I think about my team goals, I realize I cannot do it by myself. So I need a team around me of motivated, well-trained associates that have the same vision, passion, and audacity, that's what I like to call it, to make a difference that I do. And it's up to me to see that this all gets put together. That's my plan. So my vision I already have is to have a 7-figure fundraising organization. And by having that vision, it's helping me start to define my goals for my team. So I have a goal here. It's to share the vision and opportunity of getyourgrant.fundmyhome.org with tens of thousands of people. And by doing so, I want to raise up and train 100 associates across the country to lean into the vision that I have of becoming a 7-figure fundraiser in 2021. So that's the vision that I have in the upcoming year. And it's actually in a goal now. So I've got a vision. I want to share this vision through the digital and online opportunity, through events, through travel, through phone calls, through email, through grants, through all of these different opportunities that I have. I want to share this vision with tens of thousands of people. And in doing so, I'm looking to raise up and train 100 associates. And I'm going to call them, hubs that are going to be built, around the country, groups of people that are going to lean into this vision and start to raise the kind of funds that are going to help my organization get to a 7-figure rather quickly. That's my vision. Personal goals, 3 goals that we're talking about: corporate, team, and personal. And these are all under construction. We're just launching out. I'm just getting started. So, we've got to start somewhere, but we've got to have personal goals. And those are, what do I want to achieve for my family, especially regarding creating generational wealth and leaving a godly legacy for my children and grandchildren for generations to come. So I've got to develop and have clear, defined personal goals, many of which I have already. And that's helping lead me down the road to my vision. So I want to talk to you about the money side of this with regards to our corporate goal of raising $12 billion. And we want to break that down, obviously, into, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, 1-year goals, monthly goals, things like that, which we will, and we are. But we have to start somewhere. So from a corporate perspective, right now, we're going to use $7 million by the end of 2021 that we want to raise corporately. So that is a goal that's smart, it's specific, it's 7 million. Now keep in mind, this goal in its form right here is only a financial goal. We'll talk more in detail about the goal of what it's going to be able to do and actually have it in a better form already. But this is just to give you some different scenarios of what we're capable of doing. So here in year 1, our goal is to raise $7 million. Well, it's smart. It's measurable. It's by the end of 2021. It's achievable. We know that because in our past couple sessions together, we saw, and you heard even today, that there's over $850 billion annually available. We've seen other corporations, other nonprofits who had a much smaller and humble beginning than we have be able to generate millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in a short period of time. So we know what's possible out there. These are very achievable. This is very relevant because $7 million is going to help $7 million is going to help 583 people get their homes this year through fundmyhome.org. That's a lot of people. But if we keep doing that, if we just double it every year for 5 years, at the end of 5 years in 2025, we will have raised $105 million. And that'll be able to help, if the average is 12,000, it'll help 8,750 people in our great country, families, get their goal of getting the American dream, getting their own home. So I want to show you, what that looks like. So again, when you break it down, into smaller chunks, so now we've got this, think of this. We got this large, nationwide company. We've already got thousands of associates, and now we're stepping into the fundraising side of things. And my goal, myself personally, is to have a 7-figure fundraising hub, fully operating this year. So you don't think that we could get, as an organization, $7 million raised this year? I think that might be a little bit low. So, we might have to think about raising that. So very achievable. But let's look at some different scenarios, because I want to show you how we can get to 12 billion and even beyond that over 30 years. Let's say by the end of year 10 that we're generating $100 million a year by then. We built an organization. We've gone into that level 2, now into level 3, now into level 4, where we're getting, government grants. We're getting corporate sponsors, 501c4s, where we're getting millions of dollars now. We've got the infrastructure in place. We've got an incredible online presence. We've got this vision out there with the mission. It's the talk of the country, and we're doing 100 million a year, let's say, after 10 years. Well, that gives us 20 more years to achieve our goal. Well, 100 million times 20 years, that's $2 billion plus the 105 million that we've already raised. Guess what? That's $2,105,000,000. We're able to help 175,416 families achieve the American dream. Is it to our goal of 12 billion? No, it's not, but it's well on our way. Well, let's think a little bit bigger. Let's say we're growing to the point of, let's say, 240 million per year after 10 years. Like, by the way, Matthew 25 ministry that you can find on America's top 100 nonprofits last year that raised $240 million last year. And they were started by a husband and wife team out of Cincinnati, Ohio, less than 30 years ago. $240 million they raised last year without any government grants. So let's say we're able to do that after 10 years, and we're able to be at that level, and we've got 20 more years. What does that look like? Well, 240 million times 20 years is $4,800,000,000 divided by 12,000 is 400,000 people that we helped achieve the American dream. So again, we're almost halfway there with that scenario. But let's say the average grant amount, let's say we're wrong. Let's say that the economy turns around now and things really get strong again. Let's say the average amount that's given in grants is only $6,000. Well, that would mean with the previous scenario that we were able to help 800,000 families. But let's say we meet Matthew 25 after 10 years at 240 million, but continue to grow to the level of Habitat for Humanity. We've all heard of them. By the way, they were number 8 last year on America's top 100 non-for-profits in fundraising. And let's say that we meet their level where they are now after 25 years of fundraising. So we're at that level where last year they were able to raise $2.8 billion in 1 year. And let's say we do that 2.8 billion, we're at that level after 25 or after 10 years, and we do that for the next 15 years, 2.8 billion. So, or I'm sorry, let's say after 10 years at 240 million, we continue to grow and we get to that level after 25 years of 240 million, and we got 5 years remaining at 2.8 billion. That's 5 times 2.8 billion, that's $14 billion just in those last 5 years, plus all the other donations that we were able to raise to the tune of probably a couple of $1 billion previously. And guess what? Just that 14 billion divided by $12,000, we're able to help 1,166,666 people, families, get their home, get their American dream. So you can see that these are smart goals, that they're very doable, that they're very achievable, and these are some of the different scenarios. Again, I'm sharing this with you just to give you vision so that you can see the possibilities, that you can begin to, pray and seek the ideas, the plan that might help you get there and be a part of this great movement that we have. Very smart goals that we need to lay out corporately. We've already got 2 major goals right here, to raise the funds needed to help 1 million families achieve the American dream. And we know that we can do it. They're specific, they're measurable, achievable, relevant, time-based goals. And here's another one. So this is a goal that we have right now. is to educate and empower all funmyhome.org associates, you and me, to assist in building and equipping your teams, our teams, with the knowledge and tools needed to help raise $7 million by the end of 2021, so that you and I, we the people of our great company, can help 583, think of that, we'll help 583 fellow Americans achieve the American dream of home ownership in 2021. Another goal, to develop a well thought out team strategy to educate and empower our associates in the implementation of the ongoing plan using continuous process improvement to meet our objectives within the first 90 days. This is a specific goal that has been put together by our team to develop a system that all of us are going to be able to use using continuous process improvement. In other words, we're going to implement a culture that is going to continuously improve every aspect of our opportunity. And continuous process improvement is something that is used by the U.S. government. It's used in the U.S. Missile Defense Program. It was used in the Space Shuttle program. It's a culture where the goal is zero defects, where everyone in the organization has the same objective, and that's zero defects. You know, when you're building a space shuttle, we all know tragically what can happen when one error is made, when one defect is present, and continuous process improvement has the goal of zero defects. So we want to put together a system of zero defects that's going to be it's going to generate a proven, repeatable process that's going to enable us to be successful. That's what we're after right now. So we're going to put a training system on the levels like that we looked at today in next week's workshop. That's going to, and we're going to continue to, develop that, refine that, and we're going to have these workshops where we're going to go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4, and we're going to begin to put together the tools that all of us need to be successful. The CRM, it's customer relation management software, the email marketing opportunities, social media marketing. We're building these automated funnels. We're going to give you landing pages and task management tools. First, we're going to do this corporately. We've already purchased the software. We're working on these things, all part of this system that's going to educate and empower all of our associates. And we're going to have this ready to roll out over the course of the next 90 days. Some of it already is for all of you and me to be successful. So what's the plan we have moving forward? Well, our first objective needs to be in the area of communication. Just like Moses, we've got to clearly communicate, the vision and the goals and how we're going to get there. So we have to have a plan. And here's part of our plan in the area of communication is to clearly communicate the following with all team builders and associates on an ongoing basis, repetition, through webinars, and eventually this automated system that we just talked about of instruction via training videos to be added to our replicated website. So this will be an automated system of training that you're going to have right on your own replicated website. And this training strategy will be a step-by-step instruction manual to use in using digital tools to help all associates achieve their dreams and fundraising goals. This will help us all achieve our corporate goal of raising $7 million in 2021 to assist those 583 families get their new home. So what are we going to regularly communicate? Vision. So, right now, this presentation, Workshop 101, it's being recorded. And it's going to be given out to all new associates that come in that want to join the fundraising nonprofit opportunity. And they're going to hear the same need, the same power that's necessary for us to have with regards to vision. So we'll communicate that to them through this replicated, repeatable process. Our mission statement, again, regularly communicated. The stages of success, the corporate and team and personal goals, the plan to achieve those goals. This proven repeatable process that we will have or already are starting to have in place to achieve our objectives. Our training schedule of events. 90% of success is showing up. So we want to make sure that our associates are knowing when the different training opportunities are, and that we're giving them, the opportunity meetings when they're going to be held, and we're communicating to them clearly what is going to be shared, and who's going to be sharing it, and things like that. So that's all important, and especially our tools for marketing, where you can find them, where you can get and properly use them. For all of us to really get started in this. So communication is important. So this plan is under construction. It's under construction right now. Our objective, again, is to develop a duplicatable training system for fundraising success for all of us as we continue to move forward towards our destiny of helping 1 million families in our great country achieve the American dream. So just a quick review for today. We talked about the kingdom of God, and we talked about God being at the very center of our work, and we are attracting godly men and women all over the country right now, and it's great to see God moving on the hearts of his people and putting this incredible organization together. We also talked about the importance of vision, and that cannot be overstated. The corporate team and personal goals, we went over that. We talked about the pyramid, and we're going to get into that in workshop 102, and that's the lack from the lack of abundance level, level 1, up to the overabundance level 4 that all nonprofits go through. We talked about the corporate goal of 1 million homes, $12 billion, and specifically $7 million in 2021. So we've got 3 nice goals right there. And then we talked how, our goals need to be smart with objectives, and, all the intent of developing a proven, repeatable process of communication, training, and implementation. So that is the end, the completion of our session today. Thank you for joining us, and please, continue to follow us on our Facebook Associates page. If you haven't joined that yet, it's FMH Associates on Facebook. You have to be an associate and able to join there. But please share that with your team. They should all be on there as well. As we grow that, it's a great communication tool for us, and gives us the ability to be in contact with one another and hear from corporate as well as all the associates how things are going, and answer questions and things like that throughout the week. So, please share that with them, and again, make it a point to follow through yourselves, start to work on your goals for your own team, and let's do this. So have a great day. Thanks for listening, and it's a great day at fundmyhome.org.